How to square numbers quickly in your head. So I'm gonna do this first, and I'm gonna show you how to do the other two, and then I'll give you like a general formula to do it. So 55 squared, right? What you do is you look for the numbers close to 55. So in this case, we have 60 is very close to 55, and we have 50 that's very close to 55. So we can choose any of them. So let's say I choose 50, right? So I would do 50 times, and then since I've subtracted 5 from 55 to get to 50, I will add 5 to 55 to get to 60. So I'll multiply that by 60, and I'll end up getting 60 times 50 is just 3,000. So that's very easy mental math. And then we just add 25 to it because you subtracted 5, and 5 squared is 25. Then you add 25 to this, and you end up getting 3,025 as your answer. And that's the final answer. You can check in your calculator, you will see it works. Let's look at 61, right? So the whole point is to make 61 times 61 into something that's easy to do, and then just add a number to it. So 61, the numbers close to 61 are 60 and 62. So I'll do 60 times 62, and that I end up getting 3,720. So you need a little bit of mental math for this, but you can just do 62 times 6, you get 372, and then add a 0. You get 3,720, and then since you took 1 away, then you add 1 squared. So you add 1 squared, which is just 1. So you end up getting 3,721 as your final answer. Again, check in your calculator, see if it works. 98 squared. Okay, so what's close to 98? You have 90, but you also have 100. So I would use 100 here. So I have 100 times, and then to get to 100 you add it 2, so then you subtract 2 and you end up getting 96. So you get 100 times 96, which is 9,600. That's very easy. And then you add, since you subtracted 2, you add 2 squared, which is 4. So you end up getting 9,604. And in general, when you're doing n squared, you're trying to look to get like a round number. So you're looking for like 60 or 70 or 50 or 80, a nice number to multiply with. So you're looking for that number plus something, so I'm going to write a to get to that nice number, and then you're going to subtract that number as well to multiply with something else that's not going to be as nice, but it's going to be easier than n squared. And then once you get that, you just add the number that you subtracted squared. That's all you have to do. For example, I'll do another one. I'll do 75, for example. Let's do 75 squared, right? Well, to get to 75, the closest numbers there are going to be 80 and 70. It doesn't matter what we choose because they're both the same distance apart. So let's say I choose 80. So I do 80, and then I multiply it by, well, if I subtract 5 from 75, I get 70. So I do 80 times 70. That's 5,600. And then since I subtracted 5, I add 5 squared. So I add 25. And then I'm getting 5,625 as my answer. I'll do a harder one, right? Let's say I did 88 squared. What would I do now? Well, I could go to 80 or I could go to 90, but 90 is closer to 88, so let's go to 90. So I would do 90 times, and then to get to 90, I added 2, so now I'm going to subtract 2. I would do times 86, and I end up getting, well, 90 times 80 is 7,200, plus 90 times 6 is 540, so I have that. And then I add, since I subtracted 2, I add 2 squared, so I add 4 to that. And then I end up getting 7,744, and that should be your final answer. You can check it in your calculator once again. So yeah, hopefully this makes sense. Hopefully this helps you do mental math quicker. You need a little bit of mental math, but not too much. And this is the general formula that will help you square any number really quickly in your head.